A glimpse behind the scenes as the team readies themselves for an exciting playoff matchup. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to Game 3 of an exciting playoff series here are the starters for Utah. Ja Morant is out there with Thompson. And then it's Karl Anthony Towns. Then there's Kevin Durant. And it's Antetokounmpo in at the power forward. And for the Warriors, we've got Lauri Markkanen. And it's Chalmers in at the 1 spot. It'll be the Warriors off the tip. Johnson against Thompson. Johnson passes to Markkanen. With the teardrop. Antetokounmpo with the block.
Giannis puts his touch on every aspect of the game. Big reach on display that time. Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
And he comes up with a bucket.
Setting an aggressive tone early, challenging the heart of that defense.
Durant finds Towns. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
And that's the kind of physicality you want to see from Cat, using his size down low.
Markkanen inside. Goes back up. Misses at the rim.
Might like a do-over there. Quality look inside.
Oh, a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Utah ahead. They lead by a bucket. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And welcome back to our coverage of Game 3 on 2K Sports. And what stands out to you from Utah in this one?
Just excellent first quarter defense. They've been really getting after it.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep that kind of intensity for the entire game. But if they can come close to that, they'll be in a great spot.
And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight. And the free throw, no good. And the Warriors with possession. 4-point game. And for the Jazz, they've got Devin Booker. Kevin Durant is out there with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And it's Payton in at the 1.
The officials were right on top of that one.
And both free throws good for Collins. Outside Durant. Up again. Antetokounmpo flying high for the follow.
And just tremendous putback ability. Giannis with that length and agility, just unstoppable.
Antetokounmpo grabs the board.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
Payton's shot is good.
The assist, Devin Booker.
So it's the Warriors now. Outside, Williams.
Jazz foul. Gary Payton. First personal foul. Second.
And he can't get the first one.
At the line for the Warriors.
Good on the second one. Here's Hardaway. Here's Thompson. And it's Utah scoring again.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
He's such a good free throw shooter. You don't want to foul him unless it's absolutely necessary. Those are big free throws. Now they need some defensive stops.
And it's in there.
He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end.
And so it's the Utah Jazz closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. A big difference in shooting percentages. That's why they lead. More 2K action in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back. Western Conference Finals. First half of the game in the books. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at your service. Well, for the Jazz, they've played exactly like they'd expected to, given the first 2 games. They're just 1 half away from taking what would almost certainly become an insurmountable 3-0 lead in the series. Shaq, how'd you think the Jazz were playing?
They're running the offense beautifully this one, working for good looks. Their confidence looks sky high. It's going to be hard for that defense to disrupt their flow at this point.
And over to Kenny now. How'd you think the Warriors were playing?
The energy on D stood for disappointment. They were slow to rotate. Communication was bad. No effort. I mean, the intensity on that end of the floor, where it needs to be, was just not there.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Glad to have you with us as we return to the action here in the Western Conference Finals. And so it's Utah with it. 7-point game, biggest lead so far. We've got Lauri Markkanen, and it's Beasley in at the 5 down low. That's the Warriors 5. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
3 seconds. Utah basketball. Coming out of the floor for the Jazz.
And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. To the middle. Giannis with the jam.
B.A., the one-hand dunk just looks so fluid.
Yeah, and absolutely. Even smooth when he's powering it home like that. Over to the wing. Wide open. Utah grabs the miss.
Well, the defense just dared him to take that one. Poor execution on their part, but they got lucky.
Yeah, just a solid passer. Towns relishes his role as leader of this team, wanting to set up his teammates.
Payton against Johnson. Drops in the layup for 2.
Got it in deep, and that's how you do it.
Got it off in time. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's Utah with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. What has them in front right now, by and large, they're taking great shots. And more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way right after this. The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. So the Jazz 5 right now. Devin Booker out there with Tim Hardaway. Then it's Klay Thompson. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Love in at the 4. Pass to Collins. Shoots from 12. That one off the back iron and out. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Love, and some very quick points for him on that possession.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
It is always a special feeling winning on the road. The degree of difficulty adding to that sense of accomplishment.
Those are precisely the looks this team is trying to create.
Yeah, quality offense will serve you well in the long run. You can't settle for bad shots.
Hardaway finds Thompson. Offensive board. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid in by Towns.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
And so the Utah Jazz win the series and will move on. That concludes this broadcast of the Western Conference Finals. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.